Head of U.S. Congressional China Committee arrives in Taiwan. Biden cancels another $1.2 billion in student loan debt. Paris icon Eiffel Tower closes amid worker strike. Gold mine collapses in Venezuela. Cape Town hit by unimaginable stench from cattle export ship. Beyonce claimed top spot on Billboard's country music chart.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Friday, February 23rd, and here are your top stories. A congressional delegation led by Rep. Mike Gallagher is visiting Taiwan this week in a show of support for the Beijing-claimed island democracy. According to the American Institute in Taiwan, Washington's de facto embassy, Gallagher, the head of the House Select Committee on Competition with China, arrived in Taipei on Thursday with 4 other lawmakers as part of a larger visit to the Asia-Pacific region. The status of Taiwan is among the biggest flashpoints in relations between Beijing and Washington, which has no official ties with the island, but is its most important international backer.
Time and again, Taiwan has shown the world how to stand up to the CCP's bullying and not only survive, but thrive, Gallagher said in a statement released by the Congressional Committee, referring to China's ruling Chinese Communist Party. Gallagher said, "The United States stands with Taiwan." He is a strong critic of China and 4-term congressman who announced this month that he would not run for re-election. By promoting deeper ties between our leaders and our economies, we can enhance peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. The U.S. lawmakers' visit coincides with rising tensions between China and Taiwan amid a dispute that began last week with the deaths of 2 Chinese fishermen while they were being chased by Taiwan's Coast Guard. Taiwan accused them of trespassing near Kinmen, a small group of Taiwanese-controlled islands off the Chinese coast.
The Biden administration has announced it is canceling $1.2 billion of student debt for 153,000 American borrowers. The Supreme Court had previously blocked President Joe Biden's plan to cancel student debt for over 40 million Americans. This announcement only applies to those enrolled in a specific repayment plan who meet certain requirements. Those affected will be notified and it will be applied automatically. The announcement from the White House on Wednesday only applies to those enrolled in the voluntary saving on a valuable education repayment plan who have been making payments for at least 10 years and who originally borrowed $12,000 or less for school.
According to the Department of Education, 7.5 million people are enrolled in the repayment program, which was created by the Biden administration. Everyone enrolled in the SAVE plan is eligible for loan forgiveness after 20 to 25 years of repayments. According to the White House, Mr. Biden has canceled $138 billion of student debt for almost 3.9 million people through executive actions. The U.S. has $1.77 trillion in student debt and the average federal student loan debt per person in over $37,000. Last year, the Supreme Court ruled that the president had overstepped his authority with a proposal to cancel billions in student debt. If not struck down, Mr. Biden's plan would have forgiven up to $20,000 in debt in some cases.
Striking workers again closed down the Eiffel Tower on Wednesday, the 3rd day running that the landmark expected to be at the heart of the celebrations for the Paris Olympics has been off limits to visitors. It said, "We apologize for the inconvenience." And a message on the tower's website also warned of more possible disruptions Thursday if strikers continue their push for salary hikes and other concessions. The operator of the 330-meter tower has not responded to requests for comment. Striking employees are demanding a salary increase proportionate to revenue from ticket sales.
They also want improved maintenance of the 135-year-old tower, which is showing traces of rust on some of its ironwork. The tower earns millions of dollars annually for the city of Paris, its owner. Paris Deputy Mayor, Emmanuel Gregoire, said Wednesday that extended closures during the COVID-19 pandemic deprived the landmark of €130 million, about $140.5 million, in revenue. But he insisted that tower maintenance has not suffered as a consequence. The monument is in very good shape, he told broadcaster France Info, adding that he expects the tower operating company to resolve the issue with the strikers. The tower will feature prominently in the July 26 August 11 Paris Games and the following Paralympics.
The collapse of an illegally operated open-pit gold mine in central Venezuela killed at least 14 people and injured several more, state authorities said Wednesday, as some other officials reported an undetermined number of people could be trapped. Bolivar State Governor Angel Marcano told local reporters that 14 bodies had already been removed so far, and authorities knew of at least 11 people injured. The accident took place in the Angostura municipality Tuesday when a wall collapsed at a mine known as Bola Roca, which can only be reached by an hours-long boat ride.
Relatives of the miners gathered in La Paragua, the closest community to the mine, to ask the government to send aircraft to the remote location to rescue the injured and recover bodies. Venezuela's government in 2016 established a huge mining development zone stretching across the middle of the country, to add new revenues alongside its oil industry. Since then, mining operations for gold, diamonds, copper, and other minerals have proliferated within and outside that zone. Many mines operate outside or on the margins of the law. They offer lucrative jobs for ordinary Venezuelans, but conditions are brutal.
Authorities in Cape Town have launched an investigation after a foul stench swept over the South African city. Officials inspected sewage facilities for leaks, and an environmental health team was activated before the source of the smell was discovered. A ship docked in the harbor carrying 19,000 live cattle from Brazil to Iraq. Animal welfare groups said the unimaginable stench indicated the conditions the animals faced on the vessel and criticized the practice of live exports. The National Council of the Safety for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals said that it strongly opposed the export of live animals by sea and that it has sent a veterinary consultant aboard the ship to assess the animals' welfare.
According to the marine traffic website, the 190-meter-long Al Kuwait is a Kuwaiti-flagged livestock vessel. The SPCA said it docked in Cape Town to load feed for the cattle. South Africa's Democratic Alliance political party, which governs Cape Town, also condemned the transport of live cattle. Earlier this month, a ship carrying more than 16,000 cattle and sheep also bound for the Middle East returned to Australia after becoming stranded at sea for nearly a month due to the attacks by Houthi rebels in the Red Sea. Australia's government refused an application to try again to re-export the animals via a longer route past South Africa, saying it was unable to be sure. The arrangements for the transport of the livestock to their final overseas destination are appropriate to ensure their health and welfare.
Beyonce made history once again. The superstar singer has become the first black woman to top Billboard's country music chart. The Grammy winner achieved the feat after her new single Texas Hold'em reached #1 on the country airplay chart this week. She dropped the song on February 11th during the Super Bowl, along with her other single 16 Carriages, which debuted at #9 on the same chart. Beyonce announced a full-length new album after a Verizon commercial she starred in aired during the Super Bowl this month.
Both songs are expected to be featured on Beyonce's upcoming country-themed album, which is referred to as Act E, on March 29th. It's a follow-up offering to her 2022 album, Renaissance, which is frequently referred to as Act 1, Renaissance. According to Billboard, Beyonce is also the first woman to claim the top spot on the Hot Country Songs and Hot R&B, Hip-Hop Songs charts since both began in 1958. The only other acts who have topped both include Justin Bieber, Billy Ray Cyrus, and Ray Charles.
The answer for yesterday was C, skyrocketing. Skyrocketing prices testify to the depth of the inflation. Now let's delve into the news of Cape Town hit by unimaginable stench from cattle export ship. Number 1, cruelty. 有子胥的残酷、残忍、残暴. The deliberate cruelty of his words cut her like a knife. Number 2, sweep. 风雨雪火等猛烈吹过、掠过、席卷、横扫. Strong winds regularly sweep the islands. Number 3, veterinary. 兽医的. It was decided that our veterinary screening of horses at events should be continued. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.